Hello and welcome. I thought I'd just get to the field without you sort of being there. Yeah, it's easier, I thought. So we are going to do this contract. Yeah, I'm not going to time lapse it. It's only the one. If it was 2 or 3, then I would. But I just thought, yeah, let's try and do this just better angle. That's not. Yeah, trying to get in a bit of interesting map at the same time. Trying to. Yeah, adjust. So it's my normal habit is to, it's that, and it's not an interesting look. It really isn't. I'm trying to, retrain your natural instincts to suit yourself to try to, give them best shot you possibly can. Do love the buildings on Haut Beyleron. Amazing. Still the only contract on at the minute. Yeah, I'm truly hoping we get. And as I said, I'm not just. I think it's April going onwards that you start to get other contracts. And also the other thing is, I was on about that I didn't need a baler if I was doing baling contracts. That I could use a loading wagon. And I thought afterwards, how? I could only do that if I'd got grass myself that I'd prepared into silage and then swap mine for theirs. So yeah, I would still need to lease some sort of silage baler. Yeah, baler wrapper definitely. If we're to do a baling contract at the minute, so yeah, if I'm doing contracts, that's no good. Loading wagons, okay. Forage wagon is okay for yourself, but it's certainly not good for contracts. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just thinking there are 2 ways you can get silage, and that's one of them. I wasn't thinking properly that obviously, yeah, sometimes your concentration is on the game, and you think it's only when you look back at editing that you think, what were you thinking? You can't. So yeah, apologies. Yeah, you can't at all. It's rubbish. Right, I think, yeah, there's always a gap on this one. Always too much in one pass. I think, yeah, they're going up a gap. Yeah, there is on the left hand side. Oh, and on the right. Let's close that. Only one. That's better. Yeah. Oh, done it again. Changing my view naturally. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm hoping we get a few more contracts. As I said, it's not going to be fertiliser contracts forever. Well, it could be seeding as well. That's the other thing. But also, I'm not going to be that choosy. If there are, it's just that if you were doing harvesting contracts, the money isn't excellent, but the time takes a long time. I'll probably get a harvest contract. My sessions aren't monsters. It would probably be one like harvesting contract, and it would take forever for us to make money. So it is more about expediency, about boxing clever rather than just boxing. But I'm not going to just do fertilising contracts either. It's just that, yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I suppose the thing is, yeah, it is. What I'm trying to say is if you get a silage contract, you will make, well, this was before Giants have changed things now to, as we saw with those 2 contracts, the harvesting contracts, you get a smidgen left now. So I'm not sure if silage contracts are going to be just as bad, in which case, yeah, everything is going to be awful. Yeah, there's not going to be, well, when I say awful, what I mean is that you get used to how things were, and I think that the same is true for those content creators who were around in the earlier iterations of the game where there were better bonuses and things. Yeah, there were easy ways of making money, and it was easier. I've heard lots of content creators say that. So that should be good for quite a while. One thing I'm going to say, obviously on this Let's Play, I've tried my best not to do map teleports. This type of Let's Play where you've got things strewn across the map and you've got to jump between tractors, I will allow. We're just going to catch the bus between the tractors that will just put it that way. But that's, yeah, it's got to happen like that on this particular type of Let's Play where you've got a lot of distance between. I can't run in between, it will drive you all crazy. Or if I keep cutting in and cutting out as well, it's just as bad. Right, let's just keep our eye open on the contracts. Let's grab that. And let's see if there's any more. No, absolutely nothing. Let's speed time up for... Oh, it's nearly 2 o'clock anyway. Not sure if that makes any difference. Let's take it to past. I don't know exactly how the game works. Whether it's on the hour. Most things seem to be on the hour. No, still nothing. So let's try at 3 o'clock. We'll only go to 4 though. Nope. Okay, 4 it is. Yeah, I did not know them often to drop later. Well, in fact, or have I? Have I ever tried past 4? That's the real question. It's unusual. Okay, let's do that actually. It's true, I don't think I ever have. I always presume it's just going to be a specific reasonable time or things like that, so... We should take it till 5. We should test this theory 1 notch. No, it's all out. Right, okay then, let's sleep through till tomorrow. I am going to sleep in the cab, because we are, yeah, keeping an eye on our jobs. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Beginning of the year, Mr. Smith. Right. Now, how much is the Starliner? It's a very small harvester, but that is a good price. I always find this type of thing dicey though. The chances of getting the Starliner on that, but Starliner's cheap anyway. Let's have a look, see if that... I mean, the Dominator's always a good bet. I like the Dominator as a beginning one. Starliner's 50 grand. I suppose it's... you don't like the size of the tank, but... yeah, it's a possibility. I think I'd prefer the... If I was going to go for that type of thing, I think I'd prefer the Dominator, and its header's just that cheap as well as being slightly bigger. So do you know? No, we'll pass. Yeah, I'm not being... Just we got a box clever. We really have. We have not got much at all. So, and you never. Oh, fantastic baling. Right. Okay. I hate weeding contracts. Yeah, they're all so tiny, the weeders. If I'd got my own 12 metre, I might actually, or the Treffler, I might actually give it a shot. But right, field 2 and field 7, they're all up top, aren't they? What? This is not... No, I don't think this ever was. No, that's true. This map has got very little grass contracts. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, it's those 2 little contracts. So I think I'm going to have to adjust my methodology. It's grass work on this is... Yeah, I seriously missed this myself when I was on it. So it is more about harvesting. I've chosen the wrong map if I want baling. So you know something? Yeah, let's have a look. What? Could do 2 contracts though. It's not going to bring in a lot, I realise, but... Silage. No, I wouldn't mind, but it's... I think what makes it worse is it's at the top end of the map, literally as far as you can. Right, let's speed time up. I agree with my own reasoning, if I'm honest. I think baling on this map is out, which is a shame. Let's do it a couple of hours. Let's also clear contract. Ooh. Now that's more like it. 24, 25 and 39. They're all... I think 24's top, 25's the first field down bottom. Accept. Accept. And accept. 39, I think that's near the farm, isn't it? Still no seeding. Yeah, this is the weird thing. Obviously, March and April, it's seasons, is the time of sowing. So that's why it shocked me a bit yesterday that we didn't get anything. Right, so we've got field 25, which we're closest to, and that reminds me. That's it. There's another entrance further down here, isn't there? Remember, it's coming back. Right. Yes, because you're supposed to crawl along the edge of the thing. It used to have a horrible bumpy entrance, this field. That's why I call it the weird field. It's like, this is the field that Giants forgot. It used to be, but I think they slightly changed things. Let's grab a bit of fuel as we're passing. It does seem sensible. Right, so need to repair something as well. Right, this one I believe. Yes, I always thought this was the weirdest thing. To go all the way down here to get to this field. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know you can cross the railway, but obviously that's not supposed to be the way you do it. I can't say I have never done that, but yeah. Yeah, it used to be really, really rough here. Just as you go down this unofficial path, it's sort of literally rocked the tractor. It was just like, really? No one's thought about the way to this field? Yeah, here-ish, it was awful, like it rocks the tractor. But then I remember, yeah, they did change it. It's not as bad now. Right, anyway, we're gonna... No, it's not worth it. It really isn't. Such a strange shape it is. I mean, look at the gradients on it. It is an absolute... Oops, I'm wandering a little. Let's get it back out. Yes, this is one field I've never wanted to own. Let's just put it that way. Because it would be a bit of a beast to work on. I think your tractors need to be a bit more high horsepower than they should be just to cope with the gradient. And as well as the fact that it's another tapering field. I think 43 is on the opposite side and it's very similar to this as well. Shape, where it tapers. I've always found that a field that's quite challenging to work on. It produces, yeah, you've got to have sort of different workarounds to get it working right. Yeah, not far off. I don't wander out. You were right. Oh, still wandering out a little. It's not a massive well, but for fertilising, of course. They have weeded this and planted this, and that is challenging. Yeah, you need hours, you really do, on Beyleron. Especially, yeah, doing these plowing and cultivating sort of contracts. Boy, oh boy, are they challenging. Yeah, I used to, in the end, I did get a little bit wise, and I just chose the contracts with the really large cultivators, and then I would do the trick that most do, not for the fact that I wouldn't mind borrowing the equipment, but more for the size of the equipment and how long it would take me to do that as a human. That was my only thing. It's not necessarily always, people always think it's because yeah, I would prefer in some ways to do it properly, where you don't sort of cheat or use the system, but it's the fact that, yeah, some of the choices are so small, even for some quite medium jobs as well. There's sometimes 3 contracts, like say the field to the right, the massive one, where it will give you one of the big 17 metres ones, and all the others are 7 metres, and I'm like, you want me to tackle the entire map with a 7-metre cultivator? Again, I know it's not, it is expediency, it is a matter of time. We all know it literally is going to take you absolutely hours. What, for 2,000? That's why, in some ways, I do understand why people are a little bit choosing why people would prefer contracts like fertilising contracts. Of course, you'd be insane to want. I don't mean I would never do one. Again, with one of the bigger ones, I would do it, but again, it's cost. It's time per output, which is why obviously I want to get into our own farm as soon as possible. There's nothing better than it for earning money. Is that say complete, or have I missed? Or are we close to? No, we are. 39.24. Let me just see. I'm sure 24 is the first one on the right at the top. Yeah, it is. So, am I gonna... Yeah, you know something? I'm gonna stop recording for 5 minutes whilst I get to field 39. I'm gonna see you shortly. Right. We're about there. This is another field. I find these some of the best value fields on the map. These ones here, the starting farm area. So right, let's get cracking. Switch the spreader on. Let's get cracking. Yeah, I do. I like. If I was to choose a field as well, this is another one. It's got a bit of a headland where you can stick a couple of productions, I know, or sell points. Or yeah, I know. Obviously, we're not doing that on this Let's Play now. We are choosing to go the natural shop route for our products. Why not? Yeah, it's true. It's nice to actually challenge the way you do things. Sometimes it's just, yeah, it was a bit of a blow expense-wise. But you've got to do that. I had a Bachmann on this originally. I was fortunate enough to have. No, it wasn't the TLX. Was it? Did I? I did have a truck. I did. That's right. I got it on the special. It was super duper low at one time, like 10,000, and I thought, well, it can tug stuff around, and it did. It did us proud. So yeah, right back in the beginning again, you've got to go with the way things are set up, and it did work. It was good. Is that wide enough? Let's have a look. There's a slither on the right. Slither. Little early. Yeah. That's it. Smashing. Right. I shall pan back in. No, actually, while we're this close, I'm going to grab some fertiliser from the shop, and I'm going to pop up top. Yeah, it is when you've got a contraption like this. The other thing is, it's enough for 4 or 5 contracts, or one massive, the huge field. You can get that done as well. So, yeah, it really is not. So, I think sometimes it's a bit of. I like to over prepare. I do. That's why I am a terror for like wanting to meet everything head on in a massive way. It's just the way that I actually work. I like to be prepared and then some. Right, let's top this up from the bags by the shop. We're going to do this regular. Yeah, I might actually store the other one up at the top as it drops off. 3 of them have dropped off. Gordon Bennett, I was right. Right, that's fun. That seed it is, isn't it? Right, let's go and grab some from... that is fertiliser. Oh my life, that's terrible. It is, they're always all dropping off. I was right. And this is what I was saying, these are the problems where you try to do things properly and game mechanics beat you. Anyway, yes, I am going to reconvene at the top of the map, so see you in a few minutes. Right, we're there. Let's get cracking. I'm a little bit too... yeah, I thought so. Quite right. Right, smashing. We shall take these contracts, collect on them, and then we shall see if there are any more dropped in those few minutes. I don't think it usually works like that, but yeah, we'll have a look. We're getting a bit worried about seeding contracts. I thought we might actually get a few of those. We didn't get a single seeding contract in March. I think there was a planting. Yeah, no seeding. I mean, even these... it is... yeah, I was just thinking on the way up to myself, when I was not chatting to yourselves, about, yeah, the contract prices. Again, I think Giants, I think that's why a lot of people, as soon as Calmsden was available, made the jump to Calmsden. I think Giants have never really been known for being generous, really, with the contract prices or anything. They are very tight, especially when your paint settings are that are in the natural, as they start off with. That is awful, it really is. I remember that well. It was very, very difficult. It does all come back to you when you start. Yeah, after a little while you think, oh yeah, it is beautiful. It is. I don't go back on that. It's a gorgeous map, but it's not one that's... you are not going to make a fortune overnight. You're not. Got to dissuade yourself. It's tough. It is. It's another reason why I didn't want hard economy. Right, let's collect those 3 contracts and let's wait here. It's a bit of a misty... yeah, it is. It's not the nicest of days. Right, let's grab these. And collect, collect, collect. Yeah, I was also deliberating on whether or not to buy a field and do some grass work and get a bunker. It isn't a bad way to make money. Sometimes having your money just sit there isn't always... 34 again is a very strategic field for that. If you could convert 34, it's 99,000. There's another good one that's at the top, but that's a long field. 40 is such a long way. I always thought that was probably one of the 41 again, but it's that. Yeah, you get that extra bit of grassland as well. But 9, I still think that represents the best value. That's not a bad one either. That's got a lot of extra grass. Well, not a lot. Yeah. 16, I think, represents one of the best values because it is a big area. Do you still get the farmhouse? I think you do, don't you? I'm sure I've seen that. I was just thinking of, we could do the sneaky trick of buying that land and then shipping the house off to somebody who wanted to buy it, and to represent our status, to remove our original tent and actually fit a different size building, as I think, to represent how well we do on the Let's Play. That's what I'm thinking. Now that I do think in some ways it's, if I'm going to wait to do, there's pros and cons. I mean, the other thing is you're going to... Well, no, we're not. That's the beauty of doing a grass field and planting grass. We've got a seeder to do grass. We'd need to buy a cultivator now. Yeah, I'll show you what I was actually thinking. There's a fantastic cultivator. I would like to bring in the little one far more. And there are a couple of cultivators that's possible for that aren't absolutely awful. I think it is in cultivators. I think it's one of the modded ones. They're like a wireframe, shallow cultivator. Not my usuals, not these ones. These ones I'm quite used to. Probably just about get away with the 5 meter PBS, PB3 PBS. These ones are what I'm thinking. Is the 5 meter harrow. It is very basic, but it's shallow cultivating. It is, yeah. It's got to be for that, hasn't it? So for 1,500, and our little tractor could do that. I was thinking that's a nice way to get some use out of that as well. So it is possible we could do that. That's my reasoning. But if what I would be doing is, yeah, we would be ripping up to begin with. Have we got 148? We have, but we won't be able to afford anything other than the field itself. We have a little bit of seed. We haven't got a plough though. We would need to lease a plough. Yeah, we need to do a few more contracts. You've always got to have a little bit of seed money in your back pocket to cover yourself for the incidentals. So let's just wait till 10 o'clock. Yeah, we definitely need some. Hoping we get a couple of seeding ones. So seriously, yeah, this hasn't improved much. And I think that's something about the seasons, one-day seasons. Mr. Silly P said something similar himself. When you're on one-day seasons and when you go to like 3-day seasons, it seems to be a better way for contracts to drop than one-day seasons. It probably, well, I don't know that I ever have. It just seems on this to stretch the seasons. That's why I would do ×1, where there's not a real it literally a day takes a day, because I think it's realistic if you're going to try to stretch the day, but you still don't always. Right, contracts. Yeah, you still don't always get the contracts dropping well. Yeah. Ooh. Accept. But still no seeding. Right, 17, I believe that is over to our right somewhere. I did used to know these. Yeah, I'm getting there actually. Yeah, it's not knocking the rust off. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to bother panning in and out. It's only over the just over the low, over the brow of the hill. Yes, I was thinking about what I said about pastures. Yeah, you do as you mull over things that you say as you're driving around, don't you? You think, should I allow it? But no, I still, it's that, it's not desperation, that's not the right word, it's that, you know there's a way, it's very tempting for you to like yield, and your brain's like, yeah, but you know you could do it so much quicker if you do it that way. You could, but yeah, I do seriously think I am right though. I think that would probably be, imagine, no, if I bought the one with the house on and I did what I said, we could stop this and actually put roots down and become a farmer. That's not wrong, nor is it wrong to use whatever assets I've got. Yeah, within game mechanics you've got to work like that. It's not something, what am I doing? It's to the right, it's not across the railway lines like I was thinking in my head. Yeah, it is true, it is. Yeah, I don't mind using game mechanics. That's the no holes barred. It's a tough, we have chosen a tough thing, but I think the sooner we get into farming, even if it, I mean obviously the reason I don't like dragging you all through grass, but to be honest, I would drag you through baling contracts, but there aren't any. And grass is a decent way of making a living to begin with. It really is. It brings in quite some decent cash. I mean, it's not a killing. It's not your own biogas plant. This is someone else's biogas plant, and you just get paid for your silage. So there's no digestate or anything like that. No icing on the cake. You're just eating the cake. So yeah, again. Right, so I think that's an option. Should we do it? Because if we do sell a house and then plant our own, we're going to have to get rid of the tent. Do you know, I am tempted. It's not wrong either, is it? So, right, let's collect and let's... No. Let's clear the contracts. And new contracts. No, okay, right. Do you know something? Why wait when you can do something? It's true. Gonna have to lease a plough though. Yeah, if we're gonna make maximum use of that field. We'll turn it back in time to a yard. I do think a yard is needed, but I think looking at what money we've got, it's not a bad idea to actually do that. Yeah, I think Bok's clever. As I said, it's not about... But I do think we're going to earn far more, even off one field of our own, especially if it's grass, than I would be waiting for contracts that aren't going to drop. We'll still do contracts as well. I think we're going to need to take up our income itself. That's a point. Fertiliser, and I'm thinking of liquid herbicide. That's another expense. I'm not sure. Obviously, in the shop, yesterday's episode, we looked at the other things, dry fertiliser and lime and all the other things, and they were good. But I didn't concentrate on herbicide. I think, yeah, we'll have a look actually as we're passing. Yeah, we're going to need to grab some implements, and we're going to buy that little tiny cultivator. Sure. I haven't got field creation on, haven't I, with cultivators? Could do it. Doesn't show the ploughed state though, does it? I haven't got ploughing on, have I? Is that what I never really... I know obviously it doesn't say it requires ploughing, but I think if you cultivate plough a field, I'm sure it still says you need to plough. We can test that, because yeah, always thinks it's good to challenge your way of doing things, because yeah, I sometimes you get a bit rusty on the basic principles. Right. Smashing. Okay then. I would say let's do it then. Let's grab the... Oh, we're not... Are we going... Oh, that is true. We are very close to... We may have to... No, if we're selling the house, let's go and have a look. We need to first of all sell our tent, which is not that far away. In fact, yeah. Ooh. Tips some out, and yet it's not lost any. So very strange. Yeah, I think what we will do is we shall pan to the tent, because it does allow you to do that. We shall buy that patch of land, sell the house, and then we're going to rip that up and make that into as big a field as we possibly can. And we are going to put a little tent down over here the same. Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. So, yes, let's use game mechanics, and we need to jump to that. Only lad one house. And even though the tent is a tent, yes, let's... Thank you very much, faithful tent. We are moving you. Smashing, and for once I'm going to tab. Yeah, right, okay then. Let us buy this patch of land. Wow, just... Yes. Oh, wow. didn't know it was that generous. That is really amazing. Wow. I should have... I'm sure it used to be only 150. Well, okay, right, anyway, yep. Let's put our house down. I think actually... No, I'd like to incorporate that into the field. I think where the house actually is, it's not a bad thing at all. Alright, so farmhouses. Are we going to go as small as a 10 or should we go a caravan? I think so. I think it represents that you're still... Yeah. I do like that actually. It's a nice mod. I don't think I've ever played this before. Yeah. We've got roots down, but we're not... Yeah. We've still got a long way to go before we're properly settled. That's all I'm going to say. Where's the sleep trigger itself? Inside? I would guess. The bunk bed? It's a bit difficult getting in here. It is as well. Is there a way to do this outside? Because this is a bit of a... It's not easy. It's like fighting me. Let's shut the door. It's a bit bad if that's... Is there a way out? Is it outside? Near it? No, you really have got to go in. Right, okay. It's doable. It's got to be done. Right, okay, let's pop back to the little tractor. Now that does put a different complexion on things. Let's grab that little... Oh, yeah. No, let's try it. Ooh, as it gets run over. Let's try that. Let's buy the... Yeah, that's a nice surprise. I thought it was going to be... So 272. Oh well, I'm not complaining. It's nice to have. It's probably the only break we will get on the entire map. So yeah, as again, that's another thing that Giants are renowned for. Really, is that not? I don't really like employing tricks like that. Although if you've got an asset, I've done it on other maps. It's you can't pretend if you know that you're gonna buy a property that's got a lot of things, but you want to inject some cash and you know you've got assets, of course you can strip some assets. I like that. I've never had this. We're going to stick a bit of colour on it. Yes. Tyres? No, I don't see the point. Right, come on the little mighty beast. Let's get you to work. Let's have a look though. Can I do without great fields? I've got the mod on, but I'm not. I think have I ever used it? Ever? No, won't let you do it, will it? Oh, it does. Yes, it does. Smash it. Well, if we need to lease a... it's 5 meters as well, that's quite good. Of course you can see why. It's not going to do a fantastic job, is it, with hooks like that? It's not like a deep ripper. But at the end of the day, this is about us getting into farming, and I just thought it's... Come on, you've got to put roots down on this map. I know that myself, but it's still going to be tough. At least this gives us enough money though to get us a bunker. Right, so allow create fields. We're going to have this as the natural... Yeah, let's unfold first. It's always a good idea. Allow create fields. Right, smashing. This is probably going to take a while, so do you know, I am going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. There we are, done. Sorghum is an amazing crop, it really is. So, we should have one field of sorghum planted finally. I'm going to do the rest of the work, but I thought it very appropriate to start our... Yeah, let's have a look on the map now that we've extended the field. Yes, that does look a lot better now. I always wanted to do that. I don't think I've ever have done it. I did extend this slightly on my whole Beyleron. Literally, I would say it's about here, but it seems terribly appropriate now to make this as big as possible. Yeah, we're obviously going to need to weed. We're also going to need to stick some narrows on as well. Yeah, it's true. Anyway, that's another session's worry, not mine. Absolutely. Let's just make sure. Still not sure about that header. But as I said, yeah, the Dominator is, although it's 30, but no, let's not be so tight now. We've got 267,000. I'd be, if nothing drops, I'd be tempted to go for my case, the one, my absolute go-to modded harvester that does a 12-meter header as well. So yeah, and it's the header, as I said earlier, that's expensive, but we could now afford it. So yeah, we have got that only windfall we're ever going to get on this. So yeah, right, so we're going to leave it there. Next session we shall get the rest of the field prep done. Yeah, we shall get the rolling. Why is that not saying... Does sorghum not need rolling then? So I've got the mod that not, you know, rolling's not needed on some crops, the crops that it's not needed on. So is sorghum one of those crops? It's got to be. It's absolutely got to be. So that's amazing. I'm well chuffed with that. It's a big field. Let's have a look on the map. What's that comparable to? That's not much different to... I used to own field 35, although I extended it quite a bit. But it's not much, in fact. Isn't there a way... Can you not see now? Ooh, that's scanning. Never thought of that. Now, does that show the original field, or does it show your... Well, the area is 2.47. The field itself, which is naturally, is 1.13. So we are close to probably 2.2 hectares. Looking at that, what is that? It's not far off. I was not right. Not bad, Mr. Smith. Your eye's not terrible. So field 35 is not a bad sized field. So I'm quite pleased with that. So yeah, I think it's definitely the way to go. When do we sell sorghum? Because I've got to sell at the best possible price. Let's just do a little bit of homework before we scoot. So sorghum is best price January, February, so we can keep it in storage. Now we're going to be clever. We haven't got a silo. Oh, we could afford one now, though. Yeah, but it's where do we place it? Because we've sort of used most of our field. Although we have got... I suppose that we could... If we were going to do this... I'm trying to go away from the Omatanas. Not because I don't like them. I think they're amazing. But if you're going for realism, I'd like a grate. That's an idea. Let me just see something in the decoration fact pack. Just trying to see, there'll be in others, I'm just trying to see if there's any way I can simulate. No, it's not big enough. It's possible. What I was thinking was, I like the realism of having a grate. When you tip it into the Omatanas, it goes straight into the ground, like in quite a few. But I'd like to simulate... it's a little grate. A very little grate. Could put two of them down. It's a possibility. But let's have a look. Might be more yet. Not yet. Parking spaces. It's nice. This something like a grate's in here. Well, that's not far off. If push comes to shove, I could live with that. Let's just see, though. It's a good idea always to have a look at this anyway, so you actually can see what is in here. I have gone through a long time ago. I reckon that grate will do. Because what I'm thinking is it's small footprints. No, that's a bridge. Yeah, I think that's going to be it, because we're now going on to vehicles, the vehicle pack. Yeah, it is. That will do, I think, then. Right, so then, buildings, silos. So they've got to go reasonable, but also... Yeah, I love the Amatonas because they are so absolutely... Drive over bunker silo... Yeah, but you need to stick the other stuff. Slurry pit mod. Yeah, having a look, actually. Underfloor storage for bulk materials or liquids mod. Never had that. That's true. That's not bad. Well, it takes it if you do that. We could go in between the... Does it allow me to go between the trees? Do we chop a tree down? Are these decorative trees? How... We could take away that. Is it going to be easy to get to? Also need a bunker. If we're going to go into grass once this has been harvested, then I think, yeah, we're going to need... Yeah, we'll probably reclaim some of this back. I think we're going to have to. It is possible to get to, and this is one of those beggars can't be choosers malarkey. But I like that because it's got a proper grate. I do. That's fantastic. Just a little bit more realism, it is. It's nice, that is. I have used that before on Asada, I think. We are old friends, absolutely. A MultiFruit as well, so I can't get over the fact that I don't need to roll this. That's why I bought the roller across. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to need some kind of bunker. Let's have a look while we're in this putting things down mood. I would have liked a shed as well, if I'm honest. But again, yeah, beggars can't be choosers. We might put one down, but I think we'll probably wait till we buy our second field, maybe to buy the one behind. Although this is, I know this is my first choice, my proper choice on Beyleron. It is this left-hand side, as you can see, is very umpy-bumpy, and this row of trees and the one at the bottom cause a lot of chip. So if I was going to do anything, I'd be tempted to buy 39 to be as our second field. How much is that one? I'm not going to buy it yet. We need to hold on to our money for whatever we need. Is 112. Okay, smashing. Right, so we've got a silo. We don't need to use the railway silo now. And yeah, let's put down what we were talking about. Right, let's have a look. Bunkers. Yeah, is there any down the... No, you'd wreck the road, and I don't want to go to those extents. I really don't. Let's do it this way. I think there probably is those... no. I like the drive-through bunker silos, if I'm honest. They're ace. No production, so that's obviously, I did say this, the bunker silos, they are okay. Don't know if these are... No, they're not in the production section, so no, that's absolutely fine. The Bavarian pack is the one that I'm thinking. I'm not sure how much storage, though. Yeah, it's crashing with the road, isn't it? It's quite wide. Might be the tyre ones. Yeah, it's going to rip into the field badly. Just not sure of the capacity, but then again, I suppose if we're doing it every couple of days, we'll fill it and go from there. There's not much more you can do. Sure, have I still got the tyre ones in? Sure I have. Ah, now that's nice. Not sure of its capacity. Let's have a look. It's gonna be, I knew it was gonna be tight. But I actually like that. And I love the drive-through ones. So do you know, that's it, sorted. Jobs are good. That's pretty much all sorted. So can we? And it's a point. Let's buy a chainsaw. We are going to need one. Chances of getting through a let's play without chopping something down. Yes, I'm going to bow to realism rather than rather than going for my trusty lightsaber. Can't remember if you can chop these. Ah, yes, you can. Smashing. Okay, not liking that at all. Do it sideways then. That's why I usually do the sideways one, because I find it a bit slower, I know. Never get on with doing it the other way. It's not like I've not tried. Right, smashing. Can I lift that by hand? I can. Can, but I've dropped it. Last job of the day, let's shift this wood. Smashing. Excellent. So we've now got the best run through we can have. Those trees I'm quite happy with staying pretty. I wouldn't mind a row of those in front of this because it's not the nicest of things to see from the road. What sort of capacity? Oh, you can't tell until you've stuck some in. So that's for the future. So that we couldn't spend money that we needed to spend everything. So we've got a silo, we've got a bunker silo, we've got our house, and we've got a field full of sorghum. So we are set. All we need to do now is either buy my case if nothing drops in the coming months, or we buy a Dominator or something. Definitely no, or something on special. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, but as I always say, you never can rely on it. Anyway, enough waffling from me. I am tired. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I truly do hope that you stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.